Hi everyone, welcome to a new video about the skill system for Dragonkin the Banished. For those who have only just found out about the game, Dragonkin the Banished is a hack and slash in which you need to hunt down powerful dragons to end their domination and ultimately liberate the world. Dragonkin the Banished will be available in early access on PC on March 6, 2025, and will release later on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. If you didn't watch our first video introducing the character classes, you can find it via the card at the top right of your screen. As a quick summary, there will be 3 classes available when early access launches. The Knight wields an arsenal of fire, the Barbarian boasts titanic strength, and the Oracle with draconic powers. Now let's get back to the topic of this video. At the heart of Dragonkin's skill system is the Ancestral Grid. Each character class has its own Ancestral Grid, and it evolves as you level up. The Ancestral Grid only becomes a powerful asset when fragments are added to it. Fragments are items that you find as loot and are made up of hexagons. Each hexagon in a fragment represents a skill or a skill modifier. The further you progress in the game, the more powerful the fragments become and more complex in shape. The composition of the grid and placement of fragments are therefore key factors in customizing and optimizing your character's skills. When you place a fragment containing a character skill on the Ancestral Grid, it appears in your skill bar, and you can then use the skill. You can upgrade skills with modifiers. You simply place a fragment with a modifier on the grid so that it touches another fragment containing a skill. By stacking modifiers, you reach more powerful tiers that increasingly upgrade your character's skills. There is also a keyword system to help you work out if a skill is compatible with a modifier. Let's go to the town's training arena and look at a few examples together. Here you can see the Solar Jolt skill in its base version. Touching the fragment containing the Solar Jolt skill, we'll place fragments containing compatible modifiers, in this case bonus projectile, defensive stance, and repulsion. With just these changes, this is what the Solar Jolt skill looks like now. Here's another example with the resounding strike of the Barbarian in its non-upgraded version. By correctly placing the right modifiers in the Ancestral Grid, this is how we can upgrade the resounding strike skill. During your adventure, you will also be accompanied by a Wyrmling, a creature with unique powers tied to an element: fire, ice, toxic, or electric. You can change your Wyrmling type whenever you want in the main town. Wyrmling are also tied closely to the Ancestral Grid. They also have their own skills. By placing a fragment containing a Wyrmling skill right next to a fragment with a compatible character skill, you can trigger an additional effect. Here, my character is accompanied by an electric Wyrmling. As you can see in the grid, we place a fragment containing an electric Wyrmling skill right next to a fragment containing the Knight's flamethrower skill. A Wyrmling skill only triggers if a condition is met. In this case, it just needs a skill to be activated. The flamethrower therefore triggers Stormcall when activated. Let's look at another example with the Oracle. In our Ancestral Grid, we place the Ice Wyrmling Snow Animation skill, which is compatible with the Oracle's Ethereal Stings skill. Its description says that it triggers when an enemy is hit. You can see that when the Ethereal Stings skill deals damage to the training mannequin, the Ice Wyrmling skill triggers. Of course, the Wyrmling skills can also be upgraded with modifiers just like character skills, as long as the modifiers are compatible. Furthermore, a character skill can even trigger multiple Wyrmling skills as long as they are compatible, which further increases customization possibilities for your skills. As you can see, each character class and each Wyrmling type are associated with an element. By triggering your Wyrmling skills, you can use its element as well as your character's element. If you sufficiently upgrade one of your character's skills in the Ancestral Grid, you enable what we call symbiosis. Your skill combines with your Wyrmling's element. For example, the Knight's Flamethrower skill can deal ice damage if you have an ice wormling. Symbiosis changes the appearance of your skills as well as their effects. And to give you a good idea of what an optimized grid might look like with all the character and wormling skills modified, here's an example with the Oracle. As you can see, Dragonkin's skill system with the Ancestral Grid, fragments and your wormling offer a vast amount of freedom to customize your skills and playstyle. Experiment, combine, optimize, and release your inner ancestral power. Thanks everyone for watching and for your ongoing interest in Dragonkin the Banished. We can't wait for you to play the game, and we look forward to reading your feedback on this video. As a reminder, Dragonkin the Banished will release in early access on Steam on March 6, 2025, and later on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. See you soon for a new video on Dragonkin the Banished.